Everyone Sucks here.
With Sam, Sushie, and AJ.
Hey!
It's a Minisode, and we took a surprise week off because everything in life crumbled at once.
Yeah.
Which, if you've been alive in these last 2 years, which I hope you have been, because that means you're old enough to listen to this, then you know that can happen at any point in time.
And if not, hey, baby.
Yeah. Get out of here, baby.
Get out of here, baby.
So we all had some stuff that just kind of erupted in the last week. So we took a just quick hiatus, and we thought about maybe we could just rush one out. But it's just sometimes you just gotta let shit happen and then say, you know what, we'll make it up and we'll just deal with it. So we're
making it up to you right now. Here, I got you a coffee.
Yeah.
I hope you like it.
That's so sweet.
It's not all black like a little psychopath likes.
Oh,
I like black coffee. Yeah, I like it.
And you're a little psychopath.
True.
But you're self-admitted. It's fine.
It's true. I like it, okay? It's a no-nonsense vehicle for absorbing coffee.
They can't possibly fuck this up.
They can't. Sometimes they do, though. Because sometimes here, when I say black, they're like, sugar. And I said, no, I said black. And they're like, no sugar? I say, no sugar. I said black. And then they give me sugar.
I thought you were going to say, when I say black, they just burn it. And it's that's I'm like, this coffee extra dark. And they just burnt, gross coffee.
No.
Microwave that coffee real quick. Make it extra burnt.
God, gross.
So, yeah, we're here for a Minisode. If you guys haven't already, be sure to join our Gilded community. It's gilded.gg/everyone sucks here. We try chatting there from time to time when we got the time. But every time we see anything, we
and the spoons.
Yeah, we see what you guys are talking about. We talk in there as well. I'm still waiting for. I'm gonna call her out right now by fucking name.
Oh.
I saw. I want to say it was Lisa, who was like, I saw a really good Lisa. I got a really good Am I the Asshole? Okay, she posted it now. She's like, I got a really good Am I the Asshole story about this fucking manipulative, I thought it said manipulative woman and a toddler.
And if you think about it, toddlers are manipulative.
They are. Because that's all they know. They're like a dog. They do tricks to get treats. So they think that
toddlers are manipulative. That's the name of the episode.
I was all like, oh man, you should share that. And then, so she did now. But at the same time, I was going to call her out because I didn't think she did. But now it's there, so I'm going to have to read that later on. But you know what? That means you guys can read that later on as well. If you guys have good stories, maybe you don't want us to read them. You can put them in there and just share them and talk about them. If you want us to read them, we do have a submissioner, a listener submission section as well. But yeah, we chat about whatever the fuck.
That sounds like commissioner.
Commissioner, right? Submissioner.
Oh my God.
Submissioner sounds like. That sounds like okay.
Sounds like we're dominatrix.
I was about to say, yeah.
I was gonna say, doesn't that sound like a 90s 90s over the top WWF wrestler who comes out looking like
submissioner?
Yeah, and he comes out looking like a commissioner, but he's fucking ripped, Okay. Anyway, tangent.
You're painting a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's a thing. You guys could go join, chat in there. Soon enough,
I can't stop thinking about it.
I'm going to be posting a video in there. I say soon. I'm actually waiting on my friend. But you might have all seen on Twitter, I do have a little thing called the One Chip Challenge that I'm going to be doing somewhat soon.
Who did that?
I'm going to be doing it soon. I have the chip. I got it because my friend texted me. Was that?
How much was it?
I got it on sale. It was $6. Now normally it's.
I still think that's too much.
Normally it's $60. It's insane.
Out of here. It's insane. 60?
I didn't realize it was that much.
Yeah,
that's insane.
And fellow community member Anto actually tagged me the other day on Twitter and was like, oh man, I just did this one chip challenge. How did you survive? And I was like, well, I survived by not doing it yet. Hopefully, Anto, your stomach is recovered by this point, because I hear that's the worst part of it. But
ooh,
so I'm waiting on my friend who also has it.
What is wrong with any of y'all?
You're gonna film this?
I'm gonna get in a Zoom call. I'm gonna make it look all nice. I'm gonna do it with my childhood friend Sean. We're both gonna eat it. And he's got the worst part of it though, because this dude's like, you know, he fucking has a life and a baby and shit. So he's still like,
he has shit to lose.
Exactly. So like, for me, it's like, okay, like, oh man, I got tummy ache. Oh no, I gotta go to work, but I work from home. Who gives a shit? Oh no. But he's like, I gotta take care of this baby, but I'm fucking dying, you know? And so like, he got a little more to lose than I
shit
do.
my brains out.
But when I do make this little video, I'll probably post it. I'll post it on social media too, but I'll probably post it in the Gilded first. So if you guys are in the Gilded and you want like early access to me getting destroyed by a fucking single potato chip, or tortilla chip, really.
I would love to see this.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know what the one chip challenge is, it's a really dumb challenge where it's like one Dorito looking chip, and it's like, what is it, like Carolina Reaper flavored or whatever?
It's Carolina Reaper and the Scorpion Trinidad pepper.
Out of here.
So it's like two of the hottest peppers.
One Dorito.
I'm not.
Actually, no, it might be Ghost Chili. I can't remember. It's one of those. It's two of those. A combination of two of those.
All I know is the box looks like a coffin, and
the secondhand embarrassment I have right now.
I just my thought process here is there are things that he eats that like are so hot that I can't even be in the same room when he like opens them. Like he has bags of chips.
She's talking about salt and pepper.
I'm not talking about salt and pepper. You fuck. But seriously, like you open these bags of chips and I'm like, oh my God, please.
The salt and vinegar ones really sting the nostrils.
Yeah, that's the salt and vinegars.
God.
Yeah,
so now I'm scared you're going to open that box and I'm going to try to film and I'm just going to fucking
be
die.
In the apartment. I think you should be outside when it happens.
Oh my God. So
God, please don't mustard gas the dogs again.
I think I told you guys. Yeah, I think I told you about. Yeah, I think I told this before. I like how I was going to make. I made chicken strips. So, but to make the breading, I used flamin' hot Cheetos, or I used the triple, like the flamin' hot XXX Cheetos, whatever. So when I put I made the breading, and when I put it in the oil, it made mustard gas, and it just the whole house was just like I had tears streaming down my face because I'm just breathing in this shit. I'm like, I did not think this through. But now I'm thinking, oh shit,
that wouldn't have happened if you had an air fryer.
But what if I did it with the fucking one chip challenge? What if I got a bunch of those one chips and made the breading? Oh my God, we could be onto something here.
Oh my God.
No, you're gonna explode your apartment.
The one chicken challenge.
Please don't upset the dogs like that. Can you imagine those poor dogs? They're like, we didn't ask for this. Like, Midna freaks out
we didn't sign up for this bullshit.
when the eggs start popping in the frying pan, like Midna freaks out. She's like, I know that fucking smoke detector's about to go off. Can you imagine if you were like mustard gas in the house? She'd be like, oh my fucking God.
I mean, she was in here when it happened the first time. I quickly locked her in the bedroom and like opened the windows, thinking like, you'll be safe in here. I'm gonna go back out there though, because I got chicken to eat.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
All right, so
I love that Midna and Sam have this connection where they both just look at each other and they're like, AJ's at it again.
I feel so bad for her because anytime he's standing at the stove, she's like, I gotta go. I can't deal with this. And I'm like, I know, I really can't either.
She's like, I'm finally not alone in this. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Come get your man.
At least, yeah. That's the one way to keep her out of the kitchen, because like otherwise she wants to be in there at all times. But if I start cooking, she departs. She leaves. She's like, I'm out of here.
It's because she knows that smoke detector's gonna go off. She's anticipating it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I said I got some quick ones here.
I see the title to this.
So I'm gonna start us off with a confessions this time, because I actually have a confessions and I have an Am I the Asshole, but I'm gonna fucking mix it up.
Scandalo.
So this
Usher really ruined that word for me.
I know. Okay, so honestly, this is gonna sound, I don't know if it's gonna sound blasphemous or whatever the fuck, but when I think of the song Confessions, I don't think of his version. I think of fucking Weird Al's version.
I don't remember Weird Al's version.
So, you know, it's Weird Al, so like. But anyway, this is called I slapped the child in the face, then shoved him off his scooter. I'm 25. I can't see Sushie's face because I covered it up, but...
How dare you?
So here we go. So I have a beloved kitty named Pixie. She was around 4 when I found her on the street. She had a rubber band tightened on half her tail.
Aww.
I spent 2 weeks feeding her until she was comfortable enough to let me near her. She didn't trust anyone. I took her in, cleaned her up, and got the dead portion of her tail amputated.
Aww.
After 5 years, she was finally warmed up to people and she became so sweet and friendly. It took her years to be comfortable around strangers. Last month, she was out for her daily stroll around the neighborhood and immediately came back in through the kitty door 20 minutes later. Usually, she is out for about 2 to 3 hours. She had 2 small holes in her chest and one near her butt.
What?
She was completely frightened and was crying and meowing. She wouldn't even let me go near her for the first 5 minutes. I knew for certain she was shot with metal BBs.
Oh my God.
I take her to my car and start driving to the vet, but took a quick detour around the neighborhood. I was going to take the long way to see if I could find the culprit. Sure enough, I see a kid on a scooter standing on his driveway with a CO2-powered BB gun aiming in the drainage cavity by the sidewalk. I see cats in there all the time. It was then I knew who the culprit was. I parked the car, got out, walked over to him and said, "I'm telling your parents that you're shooting cats." He replied, "They're pests. They told me I could." The smug little look on his face threw me over the edge. I slapped the fuck out of this bitch and sweeped his legs out from under him and watched him fall flat on his ass. I then picked up his gun and smashed it on the ground. A small portion of me wanted to finish him off with a stomach kick for good measure, but I'm fucking 25, so I looked both ways before crossing the street and fucking bolted. As I hopped in my car and sped away, I heard him shrieking in the distance. My kitty was treated and is doing okay. She's a lot more skittish and spends less time outside.
Oh.
And there is an edit. It says, "Edit, in case you're wondering, I'm pretty sure the cops were called. When I came back, I saw a few strolling around. I was sure I was done. I've never been in trouble or done shit like this. Anyways, I drove by, literally nothing happened. It's been a month, so I think I'm good."
Cops don't do shit. Cops don't solve crimes, so I think you're fine. What the fuck?
So,
AJ? AJ? Alejandro?
Yeah. I thought it was like a good story of revenge. Like you fuck with my pet, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. I don't care.
I didn't know it involved child abuse.
Well, it's called I slapped the shit out of a child. It's called I slapped the child in the face.
I don't know why I didn't think it was literal.
Okay.
I'm 25.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say that this was a preemptive future. This was a preemptive measure to a future serial killer. So I think we're fine.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this is not only is this kid already showing.
I've seen enough serial killer documentaries to know that
hurting animals is really a bad sign.
No, but
also, fuck those kids.
Fuck those parents.
That's the thing.
They said he could.
We have all seen that kid that if it was you doing this shit, your parents would slap the shit out of you. You know, like, so we've all seen that kid, and you know that they just deserve a fucking, just one good fucking wake up slap to be like, get your shit together and don't abuse animals, you little psychopath.
Yeah, you little piece of shit.
That's why I didn't feel bad reading it, because normally I'm not condoning child fucking abuse.
We can read about it.
Yeah, I'm reading a story. I'm not condoning. I'm not saying go out and fucking slap the neighborhood bully. Unless you're a kid, then go for it.
My favorite part of this is that they side-swept the legs.
I mean,
they side-swept the legs and then bolted. I'm 25.
I all had a situation where we wanted to like side sweep the legs.
That's what I'm saying though. Like, everybody has encountered that little bratty kid that has no fucking parental guidance.
Did you ever know that you're my hero?
So while we here at Everyone Sucks here do not condone child abuse, I'm also going to say that this dude, we'll laugh about it. Exactly. So, and also, if you shoot a fucking animal, a fucking cat or a dog or a fucking anything with a BB gun, you know, maybe you deserve that slap that you're gonna get. So don't fucking shoot animals with your BB gun, you little fucking psycho. And also, maybe don't give a BB gun to a fucking child.
Why? Yeah, I got my own fucking thing about my own thoughts about that.
About BB guns and shit?
Well, we also don't know. We don't quite know how old he is, but still, he's a child, and I just don't think that they should have fucking shit like that.
Oh, I don't either. Like, you know, like
it's not like the BB guns from fucking A Christmas Story where it's like a little fucking rifle that takes you 10 minutes to fucking reload, right? They got these fucking BB guns that are like automatic fucking BB guns now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and the thing is too, like BB guns used to be like, it used to just be like you pop in the BBs, but then like it's basically just, it's essentially like a fucking spring that shoots them out. Mm-hmm, you know, that's what it used to be. And maybe some of them had those little pop things. Like now, when I was a kid, I actually had, I think it was actually from my grandfather. I had a pop gun. Mm-hmm. Do you guys remember those?
I think, yeah. It was like a little I remember seeing them at the store.
Yeah, it was a little, but this was like metal one because like you know like I don't know where my grandfather got it, but like all you did like is like a little metal like Wild West gun, but like you put in a strip of basically pop paper. Yeah. It's kind of like those little things you can throw down on the ground. You know, those little baby firecrackers.
Pop rocks.
Yeah, the little pop rocks, but like. And so when you shoot it, there's no hole in the barrel. Nothing comes out. It just triggers.
Makes a sound.
It just makes a sound, you know. And it's like that's what I had growing up with, like that my grandfather got me, a little baby pop gun thing. Didn't shoot anything, but like BB guns used to just be like a spring loaded thing, and yeah, they could hurt, but like they couldn't fucking like. They weren't putting holes in shit.
Yeah.
Now it's like CO2 fucking, we got science involved, you know? And once you get science involved, shit starts getting violent.
It's because they no longer make it for kids. They make it for adults.
Bad things happen.
Yeah, like exactly. They make it for, exactly, when bad things happen. And like, and they're making this shit for adults. You know, there is a lesson that can be learned here. It's the fact that I remember my nephew, right? I had this laser pointer, like this fucking like green laser pointer years ago that like you can literally like you can fucking, it's a star pointer really. You can literally no matter where you're at, you can shoot the beam up and you can shoot it at stars and like point to fucking stars in the sky. The beam goes for like miles, right? Now obviously you're also not, it's a federal crime if you ever shoot at a plane because you know it can reach that. But regardless, I remember my nephew really wanted to hold on to it, right? Because of course he did. He was a child at the time. He still is, but like at the time I think he was like maybe like child. 8 or 9, you know?
Yeah.
And me and my dad were like, if you fucking hold on to this, you cannot aim at anybody. Do not shine anyone's face. Immediately shines at somebody. Now he did shine at someone's face, but immediately snatch it back up. You're done. That's it. You don't get a chance. That's it. And that was a fucking laser pointer, you know? Right. So it's the same deal with a fucking BB gun. Okay, you cannot shoot anything with this. You can only shoot targets. A kid's gonna get curious. They'll see a fucking bird or a fucking squirrel or whatever, and they're like, what happens? And then they're gonna, you know, like, it's like.
Right, and then they're traumatized for life.
Yeah, they're either traumatized. It's a litmus test.
I don't like the
litmus test.
Like making a toy out of something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think it's very distasteful to make. I don't know if I can formulate my thought properly. I just
like
think
a toy
it's
out
very
of a weapon?
strange. Yeah, to like make a toy out of a weapon. Like, I know it's not, but like the fact that it even exists is kind of strange. That you're like, here's your trainer gun for when you can get a real gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're just letting your kid sit in the front yard unsupervised with this thing. It says like. It just says where we are as a society as a whole right there. Like, you have this thing. It's still a weapon, right? You're hurting animals, so it can harm. You could kill something with it. And you're just letting your kid just, like, do whatever they want with this BB gun because it's considered a toy. But it's not.
And
that's weird to me.
I really do feel like, and maybe this is going to be the most fucking out of touch thing I've said. The most fucking born in the mid 80s thing. But I really do feel like kids' imaginations are just fucking gone nowadays. Like, me and my stepbrother used to run around like in the fucking woods playing like we would pretend to be like fucking Mega Man characters, right? We would find these, like my dad would have these like really big like thick cardboard tubes that like his music equipment came in or whatever. So we'd like put one of those tubes on our arm, right?
Yeah.
So you couldn't even bend
Yeah.
your arm. It's just a big fucking cardboard tube on your arm, kind of like a Pringles can, but like super thick. We'd run around the woods, fucking like playing Mega Man and shit with these big cardboard tubes, trying to like climb hills with only one arm because the other arm's in a cardboard tube that has no end. Like doing dumb shit like that, and like I feel like all that kind of shit's just gone now. It's just like, okay, give the kid an iPad or give them a fucking gun. Have at it. Like what? Like, you know, like that's like why? Like we like
Right.
the imagination side of like childhood is just fucking gone. It's just like here's this fucking iPad or here's a fucking toy gun. Go kill something, little psychopath. You know, like it's just what does a kid need a fucking toy gun for? Like I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah, like what are you trying to do? Like what do you need that for? It's just weird.
It's just weird. It's just
Weird. It's just weirdo behavior.
It is. And I really do feel like that starts them on the path of like idolizing fucking, you know, all this. Not to get like way too fucking deep or dark with this or anything, but like all of those fucking little white psychopaths that go shooting up the schools and stuff. Where did they learn how to even shoot? You know, how old were they when they learned how to fucking shoot a gun? You know, like where were they? How early were they indoctrinated into fucking holding a gun and shooting a gun, and now they have a gun? You know, it's just why even risk it? Why even like let kids like go have some dumb fun that doesn't involve like fucking killing shit. Yeah.
Call me crazy.
So-
Call me old fashioned.
Yeah.
So I was probably one of those kids.
Which kids?
My dad was like a gun collector, like a gun and like knife collector. So the reason why
I don't have a problem with that specifically, but I think not having respect for it as a thing, just being like, here's a BB gun, kid.
Yeah. So this was
that is what.
Yeah. So I honestly can't remember having a BB gun. I can't speak for my brother because maybe he did. I don't know. You know, obviously, like he was a whole generation above me, so you know, like that's. So when I was coming up, because there were guns in the house and they were put away, but because there were guns in the house, my dad taught me how to shoot and how to, you know, like be responsible with it. Like, he told me, like, this is not for you to play with. Like, you're not allowed to touch this unless, you know, I give this. Basically, if I don't give this to you, then you don't get to play with it. You know, that kind of thing. Like, you don't fuck with this at all. None of these things. And even though, you know, I was taught how to shoot and like I have done several weapons, nothing too crazy. You know, I don't personally feel comfortable with them. Still, I don't personally feel comfortable. Like I don't feel like it would make me safer if I had one in the house right now. You know what I mean? I don't personally feel like that. But I think the problem is a lot of parents have stopped going, hey, I'm showing you this because you need to know how to be responsible and know that this is not for you. But if you see this, like, you know, this is the proper way to handle it kind of thing. And they've started going, let's go to the shooting range. You're 8.
Yeah.
Let's give you an Uzi.
I mean,
you know, like,
but that's a real story. That happened. And they gave a fucking 8-year-old or it might have
like
been
a
younger than that,
4-year-old.
a fucking Uzi, and he killed his parents he killed his dad and shot the instructor on accident because it's a fucking Uzi.
It recoiled.
He literally is holding it, and when he shoots,
it recoiled.
Yeah, he holds it and it recoils, so it knocks his arms up and he shoots behind him. And he killed his dad, and he shot the instructor. What kind of fucking moron gives
Why would the instructor allow that?
That's what I was thinking.
Because it was some fucking red-ass state.
Yeah.
Like, it was some fucking dumb bullshit. And it's...
So I've been to ranges, but in the Northeast, so maybe that makes it different.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they're very, like...
This is like an outdoor range, too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've only been to outdoor ranges. They're very, like... You know, there's instructors and there's people everywhere, and they're very serious about
I have
not being dumb.
I have shot a gun once, like I've shot a gun once in my life, and it was the first and last time I ever shot a gun. It was literally just because after my friend's dad passed away, he inherited some guns from him, and he himself was actually in the army, so he knows how to handle a weapon or whatever. But like he asked me if I want to go to the shooting range, like just to I don't know.
Yeah.
Stuff with his dad. Yeah, dad memory. He's like with his dad. I was like, sure, I'll go with you. And that was the first time and the last time I've ever shot a gun.
Yeah.
And
that's valid because it's not for everyone. Like, I think it's an interesting experience, just like having respect for it and understanding.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it or anything. It's just, I've never been like
genuinely not interested and you don't.
Yeah,
that's also valid. But I'm not surprised. Like, you shot it and you're like, no thanks, I'm all good. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I think that should be normalized.
Yeah,
I hung out, we shot, we had a good time. It wasn't like bad or anything, but it's like I've never been like, man, I could really go for doing that again. Like, I don't need to. I don't care. Like
that's not how you get honestly your like tensions out, because some people use it as like a release.
I would literally rather go to a fucking driving range with a fucking bucket of 300 golf balls and just fucking swing. I literally would rather do that because I'm like that. I'm like, one, it's a physical thing. Two, it's like you literally are swinging at something. Like it kind of you get energy out, but you're taking something out too. Like I'm like I would much rather do that than just fucking stand there and pull a trigger.
And that's safer, I guess.
Well,
as long as you're not on the green.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things. Like I don't. I mean, it is absolutely an American thing. Gun culture is definitely a fucking American thing. But, so that was my confessions.
What a confession it was.
Right? What a rabbit hole we went down.
Yeah. So, next up, I do have, I have an Am I the Asshole here.
I read this one, actually.
Man, that keeps happening.
Yeah.
So
they've been kind of skimming lately.
Yeah, they've been a little rough. That's why I've been diving into other things.
Yeah.
So, but this one I thought would be decent enough to discuss for a little bit here. Am I the asshole because I didn't let my daughter skip a grade? So, and I actually have a relative story of my own with this too. So, my kids are Jonah, 14 male, and Emma, 12 female, and my husband is Johnny, 40 male, for clarity.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Thanks for clarity.
I love an adult man that goes by Johnny.
What about John Boy?
John Boy? Oh my God.
Like, actually, I know a couple of adult men that prefer Johnny, and I can't do it. I'm like, hi, John.
Yeah.
But
Johnny Boy.
I digress. Sorry.
Emma has always been brighter than is typical for her age. She was reading at 4, and she's even gone to national competitions. We're really proud of her and all she's accomplishing. She's been in the gifted/talented program for a few years now, but now her school wants to take it further. They want her to go to the 8th grade instead of the 7th. The thing is, though, Jonah repeated a year, 6th, so he is actually in the 8th grade. It was hard for him overall. He's a bit ashamed of that, and it really bothers him that he didn't put in more effort. I don't think it would be good for him if he and Emma share classes, which is very likely because it's a small school. So I declined the skipping grades arrangement and asked if we can just give Emma further enrichment like we've been doing, because she can definitely do 8th grade work. I thought that would be best for both kids. The trouble is that when I told Emma what we decided for her, she didn't take it well. She soon grew testy, saying Jonah's school placement has nothing to do with her. I told her that I was thinking of both of them and that I made the decision. Emma later went to her room in tears, but she wouldn't let me check on her all evening. Johnny sided with me, saying it's right that I took both kids into account, but Emma is clearly still bothered, and I really didn't want to upset her. I just want to be fair to everyone. Am I the asshole?
Yes.
100% yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were not
You're
fair.
holding someone back because someone else
You
fucked
were
up.
literally not fair to everyone. You were not fair to everyone. This was not treated equally whatsoever.
If it was a girl, right? That was
Emma. Emma. Yeah.
I don't think this situation would be the same if Emma was the one that was held back and the brother son was going to be promoted. I don't.
Also, you even admit that the only reason why he was held back is because he didn't put in enough effort. Okay, so lazy ass fucking Jonah
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about his feelings instead of maybe possibly getting Emma into the right placement. So you're literally going to hold her back from real, like, a real challenge of her intellect and getting her a better education because your son was lazy?
Yeah.
Really?
For whatever reason.
Or whatever reason it was.
And here's the thing too, right? So why did you choose to hold Jonah back? Because there's also the fact that, especially in the 6th grade, right? The 6th grade's fucking nothing.
Do you have a choice in that? Like,
in some schools you don't.
Well, to my knowledge, there are choices that can be made. A lot of times you could even do summer school to catch the kids up. So if they do,
I think it's by district.
if they do, unfortunately, like
I don't know anything about that because I've been in the like skip her ahead group, so I don't know anything about.
A lot of times, you can do like summer school. You can do. There's a lot, especially nowadays. There's a lot more options for catching kids up than there were fucking back when we were in school. But
I can't speak on that.
That is an option that can be said. Or a lot of times, it's not until high school that you can't do that because school. Previous to that, like before high school, you don't have credits, right? It's just fucking here's this passing grade means nothing.
Yeah.
They don't really start keeping track of your credits until high school, which is why you can choose to just like, no, we're gonna put them through or whatever, and we'll deal with it when the time comes. But regardless, both the parents are fucking 100% assholes here because you don't hold a kid back basically because of the other kid's fucking up. It doesn't matter. It's a life lesson, if anything, for both kids. But like. The reason I said that this is I had a similar thing with this was my sister actually had the opportunity to skip 2 grades and my parents didn't do it, but they only didn't do it not because of me or anything, but like my sister is one of those people who like one, her birthday falls in September, so she started school early. So my sister started school at 4. Whereas most kids start at 5 and turn 6. So she didn't even turn 5 until fucking the next year. So she was already underage compared to everybody else in her class. And at one point they wanted to skip her up 2 grades. And that would have put her 3 years younger than all of the other kids. So that's why my parents didn't bother doing that. Because they're like, that's a big social change there to do like 3 years. So that's why they did. And I could understand that kind of reasoning. Also, at the time when they had the option, we were in a really shitty school district. And by the time when we moved to where like my parents live now,
out. Yeah,
well, she was still pretty good, and she was always like in the advanced programs and shit. But like we were all like pretty far behind when we moved. So like, but like Allie was always like pretty far ahead. But when we moved to a better school district, that changed, And that also goes to show you how fucking uneven like fucking schooling is, depending on the school district, like what kids are learning and everything. But like these types of decisions have to be made by the parents. Obviously, they're the ones who make the ultimate choice, but you really have to take your kids into account too. There is nothing like, because I was trying to read comments and fucking Reddit's stupid here because it never loads properly. But I did see, she said later on, I did have concerns about Emma socially as well, as far as all of her friends are in her grade. But here's the thing. 7th to 8th grade it's not that big of a fucking difference. That's junior high. It doesn't fucking matter anyway, because all of your friends, once you hit junior high, they're not in your classes anymore anyway. Like when you're in elementary school, it's like, okay, you're all in the same class all day long.
Yeah.
But when you hit junior high, you all end up in different classes, different levels of classes. You don't see the same fucking people anymore anyway. This would have been the perfect time to do it. 8th grade would have been that would have been fucking fine for her. So I definitely think this woman's the asshole for doing this.
I just think that if your kid is given the ability to have like a better education in this regard,
or leg up in any type
you
of
should
way.
literally take it.
Yeah.
You should literally take it, because you can always go back to like your other kids' feelings and be like, look, I understand you might be a little upset. Your little sister is doing, your little sister is excelling and she might be in your same grade, but guess what? This maybe, I don't know, maybe this is the push you need to like stop being a little dick or whatever, but, but at the same time, it's like, I had a situation in my elementary school where I went to when I started school with a set of twins. A set of twin brothers, and when I got to, I want to say
one of them was evil.
You
had to choose which one to kill.
And I had to choose which one to kill. When I got to about the second grade, I learned this later on, but apparently one of the twins was basically failing first grade, and they wanted to hold him back. And the only reason why they didn't hold him back was because he is a twin, and they thought that it would have some type of there'd be some type of conflict between the two of them if one went ahead and then one was held back. So they just pushed the other one into second grade, but then ultimately that he was failing second grade because he couldn't fucking do first grade stuff.
Yeah.
So it's you really need to take into account, of course you need to take into account how psychologically and socially this may affect them, but at the same time don't over stimulate them with shit they're never gonna fucking be able to comprehend either, because they haven't gotten the basics.
This is a huge topic for people that are much smarter than us, but there is
people who don't have kids.
Yeah. Well, what I'm getting at, not this, but what I was going to say is a much bigger topic. It's the fact that the whole school system in general is fucking terrible. Because it's designed take for instance nowadays, right? Everybody's pushing kids back into school with no masks and all this, right? And this is a big fucking issue with fucking Delta variant destroying everything. And fuck the kids, put them back in school, right? Because everybody's well, if we, it's been proven that the at-home learning is not doing well for them, and all the kids who did that basically have lost a whole year of school, and how are they going to be prepared, and all this blah, 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 blah. And it's the issue here is the fact that none of you are clearly wanting to teach kids. You're all trying to move along a timeline. And that's not how fucking life works, but that's how we've all been programmed to think that life works. Mm-hmm. So it's, okay, you made it to 18, it's time to graduate and go start your life. But if all of the kids nowadays, who are all a year behind in all school forever, suddenly maybe they have to fucking all go for a little bit longer. That might just be something that has to happen, and that should be okay. But now we're so stuck in this idea of, okay, standardized tests and in and out fucking punch card children, just fucking the next conveyor belt of children's coming through, and we got to get them out.
To get them ready.
Got to get them ready for the fucking workforce. AJ? Yeah, got to get them ready for the workforce. And it's the whole thing.
You have a time schedule.
Yeah, it's fucking outlandish. Whereas think back to how school used to be, and I mean way the fuck back, right? When you think about colonial days schooling, where it's okay, you got the small little village, right, and you have the schoolhouse, and it's literally just a fucking building with just one room in it and one teacher, and the kids are there, and they all fucking learn about life for fucking couple of hours, and then they go out and they do whatever the fuck, or whatever the fuck with their parents, that school, the whole idea of school originally was supposed to prepare kids for fucking life and gradually teach them things, of course. Yes, education is very important, but there's more to education than just the topics that we are assigned at school. We have to learn history and math and science. It was literally learn about life and learn about growing up and learn about actual fucking things. Okay, and now, take what you learn and go back out into the world and help your parents or whatever the fuck. But now it's everything's standardized. Everything's on a schedule. And it's we're so worried about fucking this just bullshit where it's none of this should even fucking matter. Mm. But here we are, and we got a bunch of fucking kids in school that are all fucking doing terribly because they can't do homeschooling because understandable reasons. Yeah. And we got kids who are getting held back because they can't understand, because kids learn, because heaven fucking forbid children learn differently from one another, and some kids just can't, like this Jonah kid, maybe he just can't fucking learn the way the schools are teaching him.
True. Yeah.
That's a big thing, and I think it's so fucking normalized to just shit on them for doing bad, and it's this kid could be the nicest fucking kid in the world, and it's getting shit on because he fucking failed the 6th grade. And when really he might not just get it. fucking newsflash, I sucked at school. I fucking was terrible at school. I absorbed the knowledge. I never fucking did my homework. I did not have the aptitude to just fucking, okay, let me go do 8 hours of homework. It's time to go take all this fucking work and go do it at home. I never did it. So I skirted by in high school with the fucking like skin of my teeth because I never did homework. So I almost fucking failed out of school because my fucking grades are trash. And I can't learn at the pace of the slowest kid in the class either. I'm one of those people who I would much rather like there was a couple of classes that I failed, and then I took like either a summer school class or I did we had this thing called like online schooling, and it was like basically you had to go to the school still, but you went to the computer lab and you basically moved at your own pace. They gave you the book and you just went through and did everything at your own pace on the computer. There was a teacher there that, in case you had questions, but most of the time you just moved at your own pace. I finished the entire fucking semester worth of work in 3 days. I went through all of it because I just fucking sat there.
Better for you?
Yeah, that worked much better for me because I could move at my own pace, and it wasn't like some bullshit of like, okay, are we all here? Do we all understand it? Yeah. Because nothing irked me more than when a kid had questions and didn't understand. I didn't have the patience for when some other kid wasn't understanding, so I zoned out and I'd fall asleep, and I'd go to sleep in school and I just zoned out and didn't give a shit, and like. When it became like reading, you know, like let's all read as a group, right? I can't fucking pay attention if a kid can't read properly, and that's not on them. You know, no offense to the kids who can't read or they have social issues and they start stuttering or whatever. But everything that you fucking read when you're trying to read this fucking Julius Caesar to me and you're stumbling and you don't know how commas work. I didn't absorb anything you said because you didn't read it properly. So, like, now I missed that entire chapter because we had to fucking read that shit out loud. You know, like, it doesn't work for everybody. Yeah. And I think that this, like, parents like this who are like, let's just even out the kids, you know? Like, well, he failed, so now she doesn't get to succeed. It's fucking stupid, and it's just falling in line with how fucked up our school system is and how fucked up our whole, like, just everything is regarding schooling. Like, it's all a big fucking mess, and I hate it all. Yeah. And that's my rant.
I wonder, I mean, I know it was a huge undertaking for this last couple years with teachers in, working with kids online and stuff, but I wonder if going forward it would be easier on kids. Well, doing maybe not all classes, but some classes.
But that's just it. This could have very well worked fine, but they're trying to fucking squeeze a fucking round peg into a square hole.
Yeah.
They want to treat the online learning like a normal classroom, and they won't adapt
the
fucking teaching regimen to online learning. They assume they can just pretend that it's a fucking classroom and act like it's normal, like these kids aren't sitting in their house with full of fucking distractions and shit, when there is a way that you can have online classes and make it work, but you have to fucking adapt the schooling to do so, and they're not doing that. They're just going, well, why isn't the exact method of teaching that we do in school working? You can't eat chips at home. You can't eat chips. You're in class. You can't do, like, it's fucking stupid. And it's like the online shit could work if they just let it, or they figured out a new way to do it, but they're not trying to. They're just trying to do the old systematic method of get the kids in, get the kids out. Like, get the kids ready for the workforce, and you're done. You know, like, okay, like, get in, get out. You're fucking... It's just... It's really upsetting that this is, like, how kids' lives are nowadays. Like, it's really sad to look, like, what kids are going through. You know, we've been complaining about 2 years of the pandemic, but again, I've said this before in the past, but that's a fucking long-ass time for a kid. Yeah. That's a longer time for a kid than it is for us.
I feel bad for kids because the way time works for children is different.
It's way different.
Seeing all these videos about pandemic babies, like, being in, like, a grocery store crowd for the first time, they are just so enamored by seeing different people than the same, like, 4 people they see every day.
I mean, my friend's fucking kid is...
It's insane.
2, turning 3, and she only knows wearing a mask. You know, like,
Yeah.
They're going outside. Got to grab my mask. Like, it's going to be weird for them when some point in 2028 when we're fucking all good.
I hated you. Oh.
Yeah, it's I don't know. The story with the whole thing about the holding this daughter back because of the son. It's a tragedy on all fronts for all the kids because you know, this other kid's getting held back. Also all this is gonna do, this isn't fair because this is literally gonna cause strife between the fucking siblings.
Of
because
course.
now she's gonna go, wow, you dumb little shit. You because of your fucking dumbass, I got held back. And maybe it's not his fault. Maybe he just isn't good at school or learning that way. She's also gonna not know that, and she's also gonna treat this kid like shit because she wanted to go forward and should go forward, and the mom and the dad didn't let her. Fucking Johnny out here. Why didn't we learn the mom's name? We learned the whole family's name, but not the mom's.
The name is just Mommy.
Mommy.
But yeah, those are my stories for the minisode. Hope you guys liked our comeback minisode here.
Good Lord. So what's funny is like the first one was like pretty hilarious, but we just went through a huge ranting rabbit hole from everything.
I mean, that's...
We got it all out.
Yeah.
From being here, you know? This is what happens when we take breaks and then we don't have the ability to rant to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah, basically.
I'll touch on this in the full episode. I got something to say regarding that, but I'll touch on the full episode. That means you guys got to come back on Wednesday to hear what I'm going to say. And hopefully that I don't forget by the time I hit stop and hit record again. So we'll see what happens here.
No, I mean, on Wednesday, we record on Wednesday.
On live. Yeah.
Live.
Yeah.
Everything you hear is live at all times.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah.
Like I hear you right now. I'm speaking to you, Dave. Somewhere out in the world. John and Susan and
Lisa.
Megan, Lisa. Yeah, we're talking directly to you right now. Lisa working at
Anto.
Denny's. Lisa at Denny's in fucking
Boy.
Bloomington, Minnesota.
Oh my God. Shut up.
Okay, we will catch you guys this coming Wednesday for a full episode. Be sure to join our Gilded. Be sure to hit us up on Twitter at ESH Podcast. Goodbye.
Goodbye.